Draymond Green used his platform as a guest analyst on TNT to highlight just how good this Nets offense is, saying, quote, "It's the best display of offense we will probably ever see in this league." I'm Madeline Burke for Sports Illustrated here with SI's Michael Pina and Howard Beck. And guys, Draymond plays with the Splash Brothers, so this is a big statement for him to make here. But after the big three went off once again in the series winning game five, the Nets became just the second team in NBA history to have multiple 35-point scores in consecutive game, joining the 1962 Lakers when Elgin Baylor, Jerry West did it in both games. So, how does this Nets offense rank in terms of NBA playoff history?
Well, I mean, the Nets ended the regular season with the most efficient offense in NBA history. And in their first round series against the Celtics, they were 10 points per 100 possessions better than they were during the regular season, despite playing a starting lineup that had logged 0 minutes coming into the series. So, before the second round begins, it's too soon to definitively say they're the greatest offense in basketball history. But at the same time, it's easy to envision them getting even better than they've been as Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving play more and more together. What we've seen essentially so far is Mike D'Antoni's Houston Rockets, except instead of one Harden, the Nets have three unguardable superstars who can get a bucket whenever they want, space the floor, cut, screen, and just completely hypnotize whatever defense is trying to slow them down. They're isolating a ton, but not in a way that's selfish, if that makes any sense at all. In the event that they do win it all, as they're heavily favored to do right now, it'll be thanks to their offense, and which at that point should probably be called the best we've ever seen.
Yeah, and look, before we ever get to best this, all-time greatest that or whatever, it has to be more than one series. It has to be more than five playoff games. So this will be a discussion to revisit after the finals, assuming that the Nets are in the finals. And at that time, we may well declare them this. But in the meantime, look, the Warriors team that Draymond Green was part of with Steph and Clay, oh, and that same Kevin Durant was clearly one of the most spectacular offenses we've ever seen. The Showtime Lakers are going to put themselves in this discussion. There are probably some others along the way. And we are in an era that is offensively charged. The pace of the game, the style of the game, it all feeds into it. So it's always hard to compare across eras. But what we do know is this. This is probably the three best shot creator types ever put together. Three guys who can all create at an elite level for themselves or for their teammates, and are each of them individually unguardable. Together, we're just starting to see or scratch the surface of what they can do as a unit because they just hadn't spent that much time together. But yeah, let's see where we are when the finals roll around. And if the Nets are still there, I think it'll probably be pretty easy to declare this the best offense we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, and as you both mentioned too, the three unguardable superstars, and then you go away from that, you got Joe Harris, who leads the league in 3-point percentage. So it's not just those three. This team is able to get buckets, and the Nets are going to face the Bucks in the conference semifinals, which, according to ESPN stats and info, the Nets and the Bucks combined to score 238.7 points per game during the regular season, which is tied for the most between teams to meet in a playoff series over the last 50 years. So long story long, take the over.